Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our show. This is your host, Keith Doherty. Today our special guest is top real estate agent and team leader Don Jerue of Keller Realty based out of Winter Haven, Florida. Don has been a licensed agent since 2006. The majority of that time, he specialized in bank-owned properties. He has also performed thousands of BPOs over those 9 years. In 2014, he created Team Elite that also handles a large volume of fair market residential sales along with bank-owned homes. Team Elite is on track to close $25 million in closed volume for 2016, and the team is still growing. All right, with all that said, Don, welcome to the show.
Honored to be here, Keith.
Don, if we could start for our listeners, what led you into real estate? Was it something that you always knew you wanted to do, or did you maybe stumble into it?
Actually, it was a family business for about 20 years, and in the beginning of 2000, real estate was just taking off. So it wasn't something that I always knew I wanted to do, but it was something that by 2004, 2005, I made up my mind.
Excellent. And can you talk a little bit about some of the personal attributes, traits, or qualities that you think have most contributed to the success that you've had in real estate?
Well, the majority of it is, I'm a good negotiator. I mean, that's what real estate agents do. We negotiate the best deals and the highest sales point for our sellers, and the best deals and the lowest sales point for our buyers. So I think my negotiation skills and the fact that I'm well-versed on my market is probably one of the top things that has led me to where I'm at.
Excellent. And do you think you could give us an example of when your traits have played a role in your path towards success?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for the longest time, I've worked in bank-owned homes. And, and some of these homes were not in the best of condition, as you can, I'm sure, can imagine. And in doing so, with picking up buyers, we just had to know our market very well. We had to know what fair market price is. Even though it's a bank-owned home, we had to know what it's worth. And that's the main thing, is this 7 days a week, and my team is 7 days a week. And that just, has led to our success, knowing what we're up against and how to circumvent issues.
Obviously, I think, Don, when people have success, not everything's always a smooth road to get to that point. So could you talk a little bit about some of the adversities or trials that you had to overcome in order to achieve your goals?
Absolutely. Well, I think the biggest thing is when I started a team, an actual team, not just, being a single agent back in 2014. It's a different way of looking at real estate. It wasn't a one-man show. I had to learn how to teach people what I know and how to do things. So my biggest adversity was, being able to become not just a good real estate agent, but a good teacher and a good leader. And that's probably one of the biggest hurdles I've had.
Excellent. And I guess, what keeps you going when you run into obstacles? What's your driving force? Why don't you give up on things? Well,
that's what happens when you put all your eggs in one basket. There is no option B. This is all I do. There's some agents that are part-time, but I'm full on, the entire time. And what keeps me going is that there is no option B. People hire me to get them the best deal, or they hire me to get them the best price, and that's all I do. So that's what keeps me going, is knowing that people really need my help, and I'm well versed on our market. So that's one of my biggest motivators.
And I guess kind of Don, looking forward, what's your vision for your career, say, over the next 5 years?
Yeah, I've hired several agents over the last year or so. We are up to about 13. So over the next 5 years, we did a 50% increase year over year from 2014 to 2015. So our closed deals increased 50%. So I don't think that we could stay on that kind of trajectory, but I think over the next 5 years, I plan on 10 to 20% increasing every year, and and growing my team and being able to help as many people as possible.
Excellent. And I guess kind of on top of that, what do you feel the best way that you market yourself as a real estate professional so you can have continual growth?
Well, obviously, we have the users, the Facebook, the LinkedIn, and, we're featured on Realtor.com and Zillow and Trulia and all of that. But my biggest thing is Keller Williams. Because with Keller Williams, once we put a listing on, it is out on over 360 different websites within 48 hours. And so, by doing a good job and by taking care of my clients, that's where it just snowballs. And, so I don't really actually, do a whole lot of marketing as far as, personal, but we really market our properties and we get highest point in there, for them. And by doing that, that just spreads the word about Team Elite and what we're doing here at Keller Williams in Winter Haven.
I think sometimes when it comes to real estate agents, the general public has a perception of real estate agents. Some have a good, some have a bad. What do you think the biggest misconception or myth that people have about working with a real estate agent is?
Well, I think, especially on the listing side, that if they could sell it, by themselves, they could save the commission, the 3% commission on the selling side, or 3.5%, depending on what part of the market you're in. And I think that's just a falsehood because, yes, if you do sell it yourself, you are going to, not pay that seller's commission, but you're probably going to get a lot less, for your house. Because most people aren't. You can't just get it on Trulia and Realty.com and Zillow by selling it, yourself. And then who's going to do the negotiations? Who's going to do the title? Who's going to support you if there's a legal issue? Are you supported by an attorney? And that's the biggest, I think, the misconcept, that somebody can just sell it themselves. You just put a sign out there, they sell it, you save the money, and there's no issues. But there's a lot more detail into that, and that's why you would need a licensed agent.
Don, let's say you get a call from a family member or a friend. They're in another state, and they basically want to sell their home. What advice would you give them about selecting an agent that could best serve their needs, kind of how you make sure you take care of your people? Now, I understand, obviously, being part of Keller Williams, you have a huge network. You could easily look up an agent, make a referral. But in general, just some general advice of what you would tell them to look for in selecting an agent.
Well, my first question would be, how much experience do you have? And second, are you on a team? Are you a single agent? And actually, if we get to the brass tacks, how many properties have you closed over the last year? There are some part-time agents that, have closed, they maybe do a deal every 2 or 3 months. But if you're talking to an agent and they, such as myself, and we closed over 200 properties last year, and, what's your average sales price, what's your average list time, then you know that you're dealing with somebody who's been there, done that, and is experienced. And they're not going to put your property at jeopardy. Along with, as you mentioned too, that we have a huge network with Keller Williams, and I would personally screen anybody that I referred, and I would ask those questions to them.
Now, Don, what area, you're obviously based out of, as we said earlier, Winter Haven, Florida, what general area do you cover if someone's to need your services?
All of Central Florida, anywhere from parts of Orlando, headed west to Tampa, all the way up to Claremont, and all the way down south to Seabrook. So all points, we're the largest county in the state of Florida, and we cover it all, and actually venture into other counties as well. But that's my main focus is Polk County.
And Don, if somebody wants to find out more information about you and how you can help them, what's the best way they could do that?
Well, you can actually go, to my Facebook. You can just put Don Jerue LLC. I got a Facebook page there. You can email me at donjerue11@gmail.com, and I can give you a full bio. Or you can ask any agent here in Polk County that's been doing it for a while. Most of them are aware of Don Jerue and Team Elite.
Excellent. Well, Don, we obviously want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come here today and share your real estate professional experience with all of our listeners. And if you're listening and you want to learn more about Don, like you said, you can contact him with the information he gave you, as well as below this interview. We'll have all of his contact information so that you can contact him either via phone, email, or website, or any other information we do have. So with all that said, everybody, until our next show, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.